Postseason time. Overpaid so-called fake stars committing absolute travesty crimes. Reigning Finals MVP dropping gorgeous dimes. Nikola Jokic at the height of his prime. 16 wins, future champions, 2 months away, a hell of a mountain to climb. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy my rhymes. NBA stars with everything to lose, it's my time to chime.
Starting with Kevin Durant of the Phoenix Suns, forever haunted in the shadows of LeBron and Steph Curry, all the countless super teams he's been a part of. About to be 6 years removed since his last championship, both James and Curry won a title after that. Steph proving to do so pre-KD with 2015, came back down 3-1 to beat Durant's Thunder, won a title after KD. Steph could have easily retired in 2022 with nothing left to prove. LeBron on the other hand won a chip every team he's joined, from year 2 with Miami, year 2 second stint in Cleveland, and year 2 with the Lakers. It's an absolute travesty. Kevin Durant still has not gotten past the second round since leaving Golden State. Many questions whether KD can ever lead a team back to the conference finals again. From cursed times, drama, headaches, unhappy superstars, and unfortunate injuries in Brooklyn, the now 35-year-old don't have much time left. Already speculations throughout the season being unhappy again in Phoenix. Who could have figured? Trading away 2 key respectable starters for him, weakening the depth, the lack of leadership with role players, frustrated. We've seen glimpses of greatness with high scoring between him, Book, and Beal, but the Suns still don't truly have an identity. Not winning a title in Phoenix will hurt his legacy in some way. A combination of joining Golden State super team, rings not being validated by the public, back and forth exchanges on Twitter, winning just 49 games. Regular season Suns absolutely below expectations, needing the last game of the regular season and depending upon another team to lose out only to avoid the play-in. Durant and the Suns will have one of the most difficult quests in competing for a title, might not even get out the first round, facing a hungry Minnesota franchise who hasn't gotten past round 1 in 20 years. A long defensive elite 6'9" Jaden McDaniel will be guarding Durant, with future 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert waiting down low after struggling poorly his last 2 playoff series losses, battered by the bigger 2022 Celtics, and last season by the size of Aaron Gordon. Another struggling performance and early exit, Durant will be heavily annihilated by the media. At the end of 2018, KD slowly knocking on the door of entering top 10 player discussion, right behind Hakeem Olajuwon territory. It's been 6 years since, and realistically, Durant has not moving up the all-time player rankings, only to be moving down. With another title for Giannis or Nikola Jokic, those guys will surpass him. James Harden of the LA Clippers, the regular season GOAT of playoff basketball disaster. Everywhere from OKC, Houston, Philadelphia. The epic meltdowns, embarrassing choke jobs always happens this time of year. The limited ISO style of play, historical foul baiting, none of that shit working in the playoffs. Those 3 of 11 nights, I have a feeling we'll see that at least once against the Mavs. The most hated man in the NBA back in November, crying his way out, couldn't stand playing with the former MVP, to joining a team who were already in contender talks. Clipper fans absolutely shaking before game 1 of the playoffs. Get your tweets ready when Luka absolutely annihilates the Clippers, and Harden's 3 to cut the deficit to 42 will become the next classic CP3 meme. Damian Lillard, finally time to wake up. All the regular season games he's played first year in Milwaukee don't mean a damn thing if he underperforms in the playoffs. Being a traffic cone on defense, the backcourt of him and Malik Beasley, unbearable basketball. With Giannis not 100%, things not looking good for Milwaukee. Of course, all the game winners, crazy scoring games means absolutely nothing if he's not close to winning a ring. Never getting criticized like the other stars in bigger markets. The time Dame absolutely got locked up by Drew Holiday in 2018, swept out the first round, being the 3 seed. Boston fans with a healthy roster have absolutely zero fear of Milwaukee. His postseason efficiency takes a hit compared to regular season play. Yes, Lillard did make the conference finals one time in 2019 due to Houston losing their final regular season game, giving the Blazers the 3 seed with a winnable matchup against the young Nuggets. Otherwise, they would have gotten swept round 2 by Golden State. And the series against Denver, what about his 13-point atrocious 3 of 17 performance in game 7? it was teammate CJ McCollum who saved him. And with all the Steph Curry comparisons back then, Lillard never even beaten Golden State once in 3 postseason matchups. The Bucks already having a banged up superstar. Does anyone truly think declining Chris, who's always in the middle of healing from injury, Middleton's gonna help? Remember that 55-point loss to Denver in triple overtime? Guess what Dame shot the game before? 1 for 10. Can't have any of that these playoffs. If Lillard doesn't at least make the conference finals or compete against Boston, this season will be deemed a failure. Jason Tatum, and to a lesser extent, Jaylen Brown, his left hand against the Miami Heat, lost and not yet found. The duo both lived and breathed playoff basketball since getting drafted, already playing more postseason games than many Hall of Famers, 64 wins, best regular season team the franchise seen since 2008. It's now or never. Getting Porzingis playing good basketball, the East with a banged up Knicks team, plus a banged up Giannis, and an unserious Cavs squad, anything short of winning the title for Boston would be unacceptable. Celtics would be a massive favorite against anybody out west not named the Denver Nuggets. Given how trash Jaylen Brown was Game 7 last season with Miami, Tatum getting hurt at the wrong time, both in the beginning stages of their primes, having multiple opportunities to fulfill the rebuild process after Danny Ainge broke up the old stars. JT, despite being the best player on the best regular season team, some even left him off their first team All-NBA ballots and not even vote him top 5 for MVP. If he wants to be mentioned in the same sentence with the Lukas and Jokic's of the world, Jason Tatum simply needs to get it done, no excuses. Bradley Beal, Supermax contract, hasn't made it past the second round of the playoffs since 2017. It's now or never for the declining 30-year-old who's missed almost half the season, never even sniffing a conference finals, all 160 mil next 3 seasons. With Durant getting older, super overpaid. Is Beal even a top 50 player in the NBA right now, making nearly the same money as Nikola Jokic? If he can't deliver being the third option, with KD and Book getting double teamed, things will go ugly for the Suns. To a lesser extent, Devin Booker, after that 2021 finals run, underperformed in the biggest games, hasn't recovered from that humiliating Game 7 beatdown. Being the first star victim of the Luka special, I'm sure he still wakes up from his sleep and gets nightmares about that. Paul George still ringless, hasn't fully lived up to expectations with the Clippers, still has a lot left in his game, but needs to play his best come first round of the playoffs, or he'll just end up being the next victim of the Luka special. And Donovan Mitchell, who I'm not letting off the hook. After his absolute travesty performance with the lights being too bright at Madison Square Garden, shrinking against top-notch defense, he'll be facing that with the long lanky Orlando Magic, a matchup the Cavs will be slight favorites in, but many will simply pick Orlando given their toughness and Cleveland's group of players not getting along the best. D-Mitch will get tons of blame if he can't lead the Cavs past the first round. My playoff matchup predictions: Boston in 5 over Miami, looking like they'll be without Jimmy Butler. The New York Knicks in 7 over Philadelphia. Embiid not 100%. I see him melting as the series gets further. Milwaukee, Indiana. I'm expecting Giannis to come back at some point of the series, perhaps Game 3. I'm still gonna pick the Bucks in a close 7 games. Cavs, Magic. I'm going with Orlando. I don't see Mitchell getting it done. The vibes just aren't right in Cleveland. Orlando's team chemistry top notch despite their lack of experience. Their young stars super hungry. The defense of Jonathan Isaac, a thing to behold. On to the Western Conference first round. OKC easily over New Orleans in 5 games. Zion Williamson being out, that's too bad. The Nuggets, Lakers. Denver in 5. Laker fans thinking they get a win, delusional. Minnesota, Phoenix, I'm going with the Suns in 7 games. Call Anthony Towns, I see him choking again. Rudy Gobert, every playoff gets exposed. The shot making for the Suns, just too much to handle. Anthony Edwards, I don't think he will get the best of Kevin Durant. Clippers, Mavs, I'm going with Luka Doncic in Dallas. Having Kyrie playing his best ball. The Clips without a healthy Kawhi Leonard, absolutely no shot. But assuming Kawhi will play every series, I'm going to pick the Mavs in 6. Now on to the semifinals, Eastern Conference, Boston, Orlando. I'm going with the Celtics in 5 games, just too much experience. The Magic not quite ready yet, but a successful season nonetheless if they get past the first round, which I think they will. The New York Knicks, Milwaukee Bucks. Brunson will absolutely annihilate Lillard, But if Giannis gets better and actually recovers, I'm picking Milwaukee in 7 for this series. I don't believe New York has enough firepower without Julius Randle. Western Conference Semis, OKC Dallas. I'm taking Luka Doncic, and the Mavs will prove to the world he's better than SGA. Kyrie Irving, a great shot maker. The Thunder, with their lack of experience, will run into a lot of trouble. Chet Holmgren, I see him wearing down come second round time. Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns. I see the Nuggets getting this one in 6 games. Jokic just too dominant. Denver just way too good team chemistry. Phoenix identity still a little shaky. Conference Finals, Boston, Milwaukee. I'm taking the Celtics in 5 games. Seeing what Drew Holiday did to Dame Lillard 6 years ago. Giannis will be too overwhelmed and exhausted. Brook Lopez now too old. Malik Beasley being the starting shooting guard of a conference finals team? Hell no! Denver, Dallas, Jokic vs Doncic. A great matchup amongst 2 of the game's best players. Both teams match up well, especially seeing Kyrie's game-winning shot on Jokic. Irving and Murray, absolutely tough shot makers. Doncic and Jokic both potentially go down as top 10 players. I'm taking the Nuggets in 7 games, being more established. The Mavs still a little new, getting PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford before the deadline. Still have some work to do. The Nuggets just a more complete team. Moving on to the NBA Finals, Denver, Boston. I'm going with the Denver Nuggets in 7 games. Murray, Jokic, better execution down the stretch. Lethal pick and roll, both can make the outside shot. Boston more complete of a team, but Tatum and Brown too much hero ball at the end. Settles too much for deep outside shots. The smarter team with the best player in the game gets it done once again.